Wingstop.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Oh, it's scary out there. It's scary out there. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Rico, were you old enough to watch some the Goosebumps?
Yes.
You remember this?
Yeah, terrified me.
Yeah, it was very scary stuff.
The Crypt Keeper. That's what got me. Like Tales from the Crypt Keeper or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that guy. I would always have nightmares about him.
He was very, very much he's like skeleton, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, he's like
some hair.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like a undead zombie. Really skinny,
yeah.
just like wrinkly skin, hair, and messed up teeth, and he's just like, "Welcome to town." And I'm just like, couldn't do it, but I watched him.
Yeah, I like to be scared. I used to go home after school every day.
The Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. I got plenty of Halloween music to play throughout the remainder of the show.
I think all of that kind of contributes to my overactive imagination. And now, like, I'll just be at home, like if I'm by myself and like the lights are all off, I'm just like picturing something, and I'm like, it's not there. It's my imagination. And I'm like, but what if it is?
Do you remember for some reason it would help you against monsters if you got to your bed and under the covers? That would help.
Yeah,
they wouldn't get
your
you
covers are protective. They're like a shield.
Yeah.
And it's if I can't see you, you can't see me. And it's like, well, darn it. He covered his eyes. I don't know where he went.
Well, I guess with the whole idea that the monsters are under the bed, maybe they just can't they can't go above the bed. The bed's your safe space.
Yeah. The bed is to say, because if your foot's hanging off, all of a sudden, gone.
They know the monster rules. So that's always kind of fun. I hope everybody has a fun Halloween, goes trick-or-treating or have your Halloween parties, whatever you want to do. But unfortunately for Nebraska football, Halloween is a little bit too scary this year as Nebraska drops to 3-5 with another loss. This one 26-9 to Illinois.
You should play the breaking news sounder.
Oh, we got some breaking news?
We have some breaking news.
All right, hold on. I don't have the breaking news sounder right up. And here it is.
Brian Harsin has been fired as the Auburn head coach.
There would be a pretty good bet going into the season. Whether
just got a new AD.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? That's the first move.
They got him, and he goes, you know what? Nah, not a fan.
Was that the Mississippi State AD? Did they end up hiring?
I think so.
Yeah, I knew they were close in on him.
He got in, and he goes, you know what? Not a fan. You're done.
No, he's out. Fair enough, and we'll see. That's what's going to play out though. Here is maybe we thought this too with Auburn was probably a matter of if, not when, like we said. With, excuse me, a matter of when, not if. With Scott Frost, it kind of got to that point. This is a big job for Nebraska to compete with. Now, we knew Nebraska kind of got to it earlier, fired their guy. Maybe we're able to rub some different elbows and maybe make some inroads here and there. But Auburn's probably a bigger job than Nebraska at this point. And being in the SEC and all that.
Being in the state of Alabama.
Yeah. Just the fact that numerous coaches have been able to win there. It's kind of like LSU, where it's just kind of like, you don't have to be the greatest coach to win a championship there.
Mm-hmm.
Where at Nebraska,
an off chance, an off year for enough teams, and all of a sudden you're right there.
Yeah. Or you can just get a few recruiting classes stacked together.
Just get good for 1 year. That's all you need to do. Just get good for 1 year.
Gene Chizik won the championship, right, with Cam Newton back in 2010, and then they made the return. But a lot of people thought that it was his offensive coordinator at the time that was the real reason why they got there. And then they of course hired him, whose name is escaping. Who's the offensive coordinator that ended up being the head coach at Auburn?
I don't know. All I can think of is Gene Chizik.
He went to Arkansas State and coached. Now I can't think of his name.
All I can think of is Gene Chizik.
Because SEC, I guess Nebraska's in that same boat now, but they just rotate through coaches.
Yeah.
They try to keep up with all of them.
Oh, Nick's here.
Here's Nick.
Hey guys, hold on.
Oh,
he is.
Are you guys talking Harsin?
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about the AD aspect yet?
Yeah, he just got there, right?
So Mississippi State's athletic director, well, formerly now John
right.
Cohen.
Yeah.
John Cohen informed Mississippi State literally an hour ago that he's going to resign.
Yeah.
And here we are an hour later. He's seen enough.
He's like,
all right,
so
it's
he
time
says,
it's time to make a move.
so he goes, I'm going to resign. I'm taking the Auburn job. He takes the Auburn job and he goes, you're done.
He has not been announced as Auburn's athletic director,
so
though.
he just told him, like, hey, when I get
I
there,
don't even want to see Brian.
when I get there, he better be gone. It's one of those. It's
I
one
don't
of those
even want to see Brian.
where your mom like calls you and it's like, when I get there, that chicken better be thawed and in the sink.
We better not have a football coach.
I do not want to see you when I get home.
Part of him taking the job is like, guys, get rid of that guy.
Which it's about time. I mean, it's been such an awkward 6-7 months with Brian Harsin, and he looked to be such a surefire Power 5 capable head coach. Now looking ahead now. So now what's interesting is there's going to be a 30-day period from today that Auburn players can enter the transfer portal. They have a running back by the name of Tank Bigsby.
They've already been entering the transfer portal.
Yes, but not officially.
Well, they had a freshman and a freshman running back and a freshman receiver.
They can announce that they're intending to enter the transfer portal,
but
they can't file the paperwork unless there's a coach been fired or it's within the period. And when coaches are fired, you're given a 30-day period. So you can announce anything you want. You're just, not in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a running back by the name of Tank Bigsby, and I want him.
He is good.
And you think Nebraska's
Tank
be on the top of his
Bigsby.
list?
Tank Bigsby is a dude.
Number one for his football skill, but also for his name.
Oh, yeah.
Also, in coaching news, North Alabama, they fired their head coach, their new interim head coach, Ryan Held.
Hello.
Whoa, there you go.
People forget that Ryan Held's was an offensive coordinator.
Yep. Yeah.
Offensive coordinator / running backs coach,
No,
Ryan
it's
Held,
at
the
North Alabama.
interim head coach at North Alabama.
It is what it is.
With the quarterback that he convinced to go there from Lincoln East.
That's right.
We're not talking about that again. that got too many people a little fired up on the text line.
Ooh, here we go. You want some numbers? The 2022 coaching buyout tracker. Shout out to Ross Dellinger on Twitter.
Jimbo, $85 million.
No, so far, people that have been fired.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So the 2022 coaching buyout, people who've been fired tracker. Brian Harsin, $15.5 million. Frost, 15. Collins, 11.3. Christ, 11. Durrell, 8.7. Edwards, 8. Healy, 1.5. So a total of $71.8 million is going out to coaches who are no longer coaching.
Maybe if Auburn would have waited 3 more weeks, they could have cut it in half.
Last year, school spent $94 million on buyouts. That is believed to be a record.
Wait till Jimbo eats up most of that in one spot.
I did not realize how bad things are in
Is there a
Aggie land?
Is there a chance?
College Station, thank you.
Is there a chance that East Lansing is looking for a new head coach?
No way. Not this soon.
Does the drama involving the fight and the fact that immediately
they're not the way that they're handling
immediately after the game, he was just like, he kind of brushed it under the rug and didn't even say anything, and then today he came out with a statement. But does that at all kind of speed up the process of maybe looking at that buyout?
If you could figure out how to do it with cause, and then you don't have to pay the buyout, then maybe.
There's no cause.
I think honestly, so he didn't handle it very well in his post game, but now he's handling it well. Where he sent out a statement yesterday and was like, "We are handling it with law enforcement, and we're handling it with school officials. The 4 players are suspended immediately." I don't think that they'll fire him this soon. Now, 2-3 years from now, and when there's only 7 years left on his contract, then I think there's going to be.
Well, and somebody also, a Michigan fan, touched his head as he was leaving. Leaving the game. He was not happy about that.
Don't touch people.
Yeah, nobody's happy
exactly.
about that.
And here's the thing: is
the people that are going after him for that, don't touch people.
Now, it was wrong that the Michigan State players jumped the dude, but also he instigated it they were separated. They were separated. And how many games has Michigan played where there's been 0 incidents? But now this Michigan player walked in front of everybody to get before they even entered. Before they even entered the tunnel, the guy from Michigan goes into the swarm of Michigan State players and is talking crap. And I'm like, so what do you expect to happen now? I'm not saying
jumped,
not that jumped, but first of all, take care of your business and it'll be all good. And so that's where it's like
Now
they
Michigan
Michigan State was in the wrong.
Michigan
but so
and
was the Michigan
Harbaugh
athlete.
tried saying, or they did say, that player is always the first one to the locker room for Michigan. He always, as soon as the game is over, he goes. He's in the locker room before anybody else. So he was just following his tradition of being the first one to the locker room. Just so happened that it was against a rival. And
That seems like a bad tradition.
it does seem like a terrible tradition.
There's one,
but that's what he
Yeah.
does apparently. And
This
that,
dude
he's always
is all by himself.
he's always the
Yeah.
first one to the locker room.
By
That's
like
what they said.
15, 20 yards. He's in front of his
That
team
is an awful
in the middle of all the white Michigan State jerseys.
Don't know, man.
That is an awful idea to have
I know.
that be your tradition.
Look,
when there's one
I
tunnel.
get. He probably shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have gotten jumped,
He shouldn't
but
have been talking.
been there.
Shouldn't have been talking trash. Mess around and find out. As everybody knows, the more you mess around, the more you're going to find out. But at the same
Is that how it
time,
goes?
There's a graph
shouldn't
for that. I think.
yeah, there's a graph for that. Look, shouldn't get beat up
No.
by like 10, 12 people who I think 4 of them are now suspended because their names are on the backs of their jerseys. But look, he shouldn't have been there. They definitely shouldn't have beat him up. I don't know. Everybody's in the wrong here.
Yeah, this was not a good situation.
Just give me Tank Bigsby.
Brian
just-
Harsin, by the way, that's he beat Mike Riley out. This is 1.5 seasons. Mike Riley got at
Wow.
least 2 in like a quarter.
Good for him.
Brian Harsin went 6 and
That's
7
crazy.
last year, and now 3 and 5 this year, and he's out. And they lost to Arkansas for what it's worth over the weekend. They also
Arkansas's not bad.
Arkansas is not bad, but it's just it's the kind of the totality of things.
I like KJ Jefferson.
But Harsin also had that off-season awkward
Yeah.
investigation.
Yeah.
And people were, half of Auburn's fan base seemed like turned on him then.
Yeah. It was a perfect storm of events leading up to his firing now.
Yeah.
And by
And-
perfect, I mean just a lot of losing.
And if you're Auburn, why wait? This thing's not going anywhere. It wasn't.
Well,
like a
it was
higher
unfortunate
turnaround.
because they were probably going to fire him a couple weeks ago, but then he won like 2 games in a row or something like that. And they're like, well, dang it. Now we can't fire him. He's winning. But yeah, now he started losing again. So they're all good.
You want to know an early name out there for Auburn? James Franklin.
Hmm.
Mm.
That would
I saw somebody.
No, I haven't seen that one out there, but I'm just throwing that one
You're
out.
throwing.
Oh,
You're
you're
throwing.
throwing
That
it
out
I'm
out
throwing it out there.
there. The names you will probably hear
Does
for
it
most
become
for
less
the Auburn
credible?
job:
yeah,
Lane
yeah,
Kiffin.
Come on.
Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze, Matt Rule, Auburn job.
yeah.
Why would Lane Kiffin just like?
Well, Ole
Transition-
Miss
yeah.
doesn't support. their football team as much.
There is that.
Auburn is definitely a step up from Ole Miss.
Yeah. Okay, what were the other ones? Matt Rule.
And was Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze just signed a massive extension at Liberty.
Yeah.
I think he's happy. He's happy there.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I like Hugh. Hugh Freeze is my friend.
He is.
Yeah, not really, but I like tweeted at him and then he DM'd me.
What'd he say?
I don't remember what I was doing, but I said mean things about him. And he DM'd me and was like, God bless you, brother, or something like that. And I was like, oh, damn.
All right, so we have somebody from the southeast part of the country on the phone.
Ooh,
Terrell Farley.
Terrell Farley.
Terrell, does
Hey, what's up, guys?
Brian
Hey.
Harsin, man.
Hey, my good friend, he's the assistant head coach at UGA, and he's an Auburn alumni. So Dale McGee is the running back coach at University of Georgia. He's be a perfect fit for that job.
Dale McGee, is that the name to look out for here, you said?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because he's already kind of been in the Georgia Tech conversations as well, right?
Yeah. So Auburn is his ultimate. He graduated from Auburn, played football there.
Yeah, that definitely could make some sense.
So just look out for that name to be mentioned for the Auburn job.
All right. Thanks. Anything else, Terrell?
No, that's it, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Hey,
for the
see ya.
insight there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I think that this is probably an opening that was expected, but at the same time, probably when you just look at the open market where Nebraska, is better than the Arizona State job or Colorado job, this one, might jump it a little bit. So it's interesting to see how many other of the jobs come open as we go out and how long Nebraska kind of plays, waits to play their cards because it could, if you've got if maybe they got a guy circled and they feel like they're waiting on him and now Auburn gives them a call. You never know.
It could be the situation that they dealt with Scott Frost, where I don't know how long it was known that he was going to go to Nebraska, but then you had Florida calling and UCLA and all of the other schools calling, and you want to lock up. If you have a guy in mind and that's a guy that you want, you've already had talks and it's almost been cemented, but you can't do it quite yet. You want to make sure that you have that locked up before somebody else comes calling. Also, I found my Hugh Freeze DM. I don't know what I said, but I said something mean, and then he DM'd me back in 2020, and he just said, "Blessings, brother." And I said that I was sorry for the hurtful words, and I told him to have a blessed day / life. And this was the sad part. He said, "No worries, I'm used to it."
Oh,
that made me sad. And then I asked him if he wanted to be on the show, and he said no. Well, he didn't. He didn't say no. He never responded.
He never responded. So maybe it's an open invitation. He might come back.
I should resend it.
You should.
And be like, "Hey, Coach Freeze, would you like to be on a show?"
Forgiveness is key, Coach.
Yeah,
Freeze.
I apologize.
That reminds me. One time I was just tweeting about. I would just do my NBA tweets once in a while, and I was tweeting about how Thomas Robinson's a journeyman, and then he just tweeted out my name.
That's just your name?
He just had a tweet Thomas Robinson did that said Jake Bakoven. I thought, I think it was like maybe trying to search for me or something.
Like not like tagged. It was just
no. It just was my name.
That's slightly scary.
And never deleted it. And then for some reason, like somebody else commented on it, saying something completely different, and he responded to them. So I was like, "What is going on?" But
you should have replied to it and be like, "Yes,
yeah,
you rang."
Sorry, Thomas Robinson, if you're out there. I didn't mean any offense to it. There's a lot of journeymen in the NBA. It's not disrespect.
Jake Bakoven.
Jake
Is that a threat?
Am I in your list? Is there a list? Kind of scared me a little bit there. But there's a lot of scary stuff going on because it is Halloween.
Yeah, my wife remembers. She said you tweeted mean things intentionally at him because he was responding to people who were rude to him, and you were like, "What if he tweeted me?" And then he did. Well, he DM'd me, which is better.
Oh man, those are good memories. I think you should try.
Thanks, Rachel.
Try to get him on the show again. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back on a Halloween edition of the Ticket Water Cooler. We'll talk some Husker football on 93.7 The
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bakoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavating. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 9th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping. Thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels & Joe has a brand new location in Seward, and it's open for business. Get ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels & Joe, with 4 Lincoln locations and now in Seward.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect sunny skies and very mild conditions here for our Halloween. We'll top out at 72. South winds at around 10. Overnight mainly clear. Low dropping down to around 43. We'll be even warmer tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 77. With south winds gusting over 20. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now that is some good music, but it is Halloween, so we better get some scary music going.
Get back to it. This isn't scary enough?
That's not scary enough. All right, do you know what movie this is from?
No.
No?
No, what is this?
Are you a big fan of locking people in chambers and like cutting off their
Saw?
Saw, there you go.
I do not remember this from Saw.
Oh yeah, this is always like when the guy is figuring out that it was the one guy the whole time.
Oh, the realization that it's like the flashback,
yeah.
And then like the dude in the pig mask, and then like all this stuff,
yeah.
And they're just like, "It was you,"
putting the pieces together the whole time. Oh yeah, that first Saw movie I thought was incredible. The next 14, they all just kind of blend together.
They were okay. There's one scene that I just cannot. 2 scenes that I just cannot get out of my head. One was when I don't know what movie it was in, but the girl like fell into the chamber of syringes.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one is when this girl was trying to grab the syringe through like a thing, but she puts her hands through it, and it's razor blades where if you put your hands through it, you can put it through fine.
Yeah,
when you go to pull it out, it starts cutting up your hand. And like those 2 scenes, I'm just like, whoo, buddy, can't do that. Nope, hard pass.
Yeah, I think I thought the first saw was like it was something new, and yeah, it was gory, but at least it was like, whoa, shocking. After that, it just kind of they seem to be like gory for gore's sake.
Oh yeah, like just blood for blood.
Yeah,
Doesn't
which was
matter.
too much. I don't need to see that.
Just like what in the world? Like the first one was great though, just the suspense and everything, and then he cuts off his foot, and then it's like, hey, guess what? Didn't need to do that.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh no!
And the old guy gets up, and it was him all along, and he shuts the door, and the movie's over. And you're like, whoa, the bad guy won.
And then they were like, you know what we should do? Make 20 more of these.
Yes. And
and then make a spinoff with Chris Rock.
Oh, I did not see that one yet.
I didn't either.
I want to still.
They're called like Jigsaw, right?
Jigsaw, yeah. And
which that's just weird. They're like, oh yeah, let's get Chris Rock for this. It's like, why? What is happening here?
But it was weird too, because in after the there was so many of them because they signed this big deal, and it always had some way you had to relate it back to the original old guy.
Yep.
And he like died like 4 times, I think, throughout the series, and there's like,
but then they were like,
but before he died, he did this.
Yeah, like before he died, he recorded all of this and set all of these traps up, and he just needed somebody, his apprentice, who he'd been training for years, who also he was training a second apprentice that you didn't know about. The first one didn't know about that apprentice, and they put it all together.
Yeah.
But he recorded all of this, and he knew exactly who he wanted to go after every single time.
Yeah, and it was because you did like you skipped a lunch or something.
Yeah,
you across the street.
Yeah, you like cheated on a test when you were 7.
Yeah,
and it cost him
you
like
thought it was okay to cheat.
It
Now
cost somebody else a scholarship, and he's just like, you ruined the family's life. They had to pay for their child to go to college.
Yeah.
They went bankrupt.
Most people don't know. Saw the guy. He's actually a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
He just he's kind of Robin Hood type.
He's killing bad people.
Yeah.
Look, I see 0 problems with this.
Yeah.
For security's sake, I see lots of problems with that. Don't kill people.
Oh yeah, don't kill anybody. It was not a great weekend for Nebraska. Here's kind of what I wanted to focus on. I know a lot of people. First, Rico, I guess we'll get to kind of what your initial thoughts were on the game. As crazy it was, and I keep saying it because it kind of blows my mind. Illinois averages 26 points per game and gives up 8.88 points per game. They ended up winning this one 26-9. So you have to say, Brett Bielema, I mean, the Big Ten West formula worked out.
It worked out
really perfectly for against Nebraska. Of course, this was the Casey Thompson injury. I guess that's kind of where I base the biggest kind of takeaway from this game to me, obviously, is how important Casey Thompson is. Other people frustrated with kind of the amount of touches guys had, or, what were your kind of overall thoughts coming out of this game?
I keep saying it, and I don't want to be like, I don't know how I'm being taken when I say it. I said in the second post game that I did from Tanner's that Saturday night that entire game, if I wasn't looking at the score, it seemed as if Nebraska was still in it. Just the way that the game was going, the mannerisms of everybody, and just, I don't know how serious everybody was taking it. I mean, I know you're taking it seriously. Obviously, you want to win the game, but it just seemed like Nebraska was either tied or within a single score of taking control of the game or leading or whatever. And you look down, you're like, oh no, it's 26-9. Like, they're not that close at all. But the way that they were fighting, and, I guess you could give credit to Mickey or the kids themselves for, continuing to fight regardless of the score and regardless of how beat up they were getting due to the Illinois rushing attack and the number 1 ranked defense that they had. But the game seemed a lot closer to me than the score indicated. Although if you look at some of the stats, still in Illinois' favor. But and I know everybody doesn't want to do the ifs and buts, candy and nuts, blah, 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 all that stuff. But if Casey doesn't get hurt, I'm not saying Nebraska wins, but this game is a lot closer. I probably a 1 score, like a 3-point loss or something. It was just a weird matchup because the defense for Nebraska was doing a really good job of containing Chase Brown for the longest time. He broke a couple. He ended up with 149 yards, I believe. But for the most part, at least, especially in the first half, Nebraska's defense was doing a really good job of containing Chase Brown and kind of keeping him limited on what he was doing on the ground. He had his touchdown catch, but on the ground, they were doing a really good job. They were giving up the short passes that were leading to big plays. However, Tommy DeVito only missed 2 passes the entire game. He had more touchdown passes, or the same amount of touchdown passes as he had incompletions. But in terms of keeping Illinois out of the end zone, and I know they hit their average on points, you did a really good job. I mean, you held them to one passing touchdown and one rushing touchdown. You owed them a field goals the rest of the time. And the offense, if Casey Thompson's still in the game, I think they were moving it at a decent enough clip that they might have been able to match them field goal for a while. The touchdowns is really what would have done them in.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to really grade Nebraska's defensive performance because they did just give up 6 points in the second half, which is solid if your offense is getting more than 29 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is too, like Illinois didn't score on one possession, but they ate up like 7 minutes of clock, which is exactly what they wanted to do. So yeah, you kept them off the scoreboard there, and they quite frankly just hit their average. So. You can. I don't know if it's a great job by the defense. Didn't create turnovers enough. The turnovers that was just kind of handed to him. Isaiah Williams just kind of dropped the ball trying to make a move there.
You were set in a perfect position to get some more points on the board, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. And he threw an interception on a third down, a very ill-advised throw. Turnovers are usually backbreakers, but 4 turnovers against a team that just wants to hold the ball. Didn't really look to score or run up the score at all. They were just holding the ball and waiting for time to run out. Just killed Nebraska because they were putting their defense that was playing well. Look, I know it says 26 points. Nebraska's defense played a hell of a game. They played well enough to win that game. They were put in some just terrible situations by the offense's inability to move the ball whatsoever.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of hard to grade it because Illinois did what they wanted to do. Their quarterback didn't have any incompletions, wasn't pressed to make all the difficult passes, right? They're just kind of doing the underneath stuff, which, like you said, at times would blow up. The running back Chase Brown, that's the game plan. He usually, for his 8th game in a row, over 100 yards, he's not like streaky about it. He doesn't, it's always 35 carries, 150 yards or something.
32 carries, 152 yards gained, lost 3 yards, so 149 yards, a touchdown. His longest was 21 yards on a fluky, messed up, missed tackle in the open field, which is exactly what he does. He gains most of his yards after contact, but they bottled him up for the most part. It's not like he went wild on you like everybody expected, like everybody thought. I thought he was going to run for damn near 200 yards. You held him to 149.
Yeah, and the other thing too,
you say held to 149 and 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
for the nation's leading rusher.
He got Kikawa a touchdown.
Yeah, on a
which he doesn't generally do.
coverage.
Yeah, but it's interesting to dissect it from the defensive standpoint too, because Brett Beal, they left some points on the board, or at least left an attempt on the board. They were taking field goals, on 4th and 1s where they probably could have won it.
They definitely could have got first downs.
Yeah, and they so that field goal made it 14 points. The whole idea in that situation was, if you go down and score a touchdown, it's probably out of reach. But Brett Bielema knew. If two touchdown lead against a team that's struggling to move the ball at all since Casey Thompson went out, so it was. It's kind of a hard grade there. The offense, obviously, again, the grade goes from once Casey Thompson went out. When Casey Thompson was in, they were blowing out all the averages that Illinois goes into the game. The nation's leading defense, points, you would figure they would have eventually gotten over the, that 9-point clip.
That first drive for Nebraska's offense, they were moving down the field pretty easily. And then the interception on the side, he threw it before, I think it was Trey Palmer made his break, trying to, lead him towards the sideline. Trey Palmer wasn't ready, little overthrow. And the defensive back caught it, got both feet in bounds. And then, Illinois went and they didn't go 3 and out, but they didn't get any points on that drive after that. And then Nebraska ended up getting a field goal. But that first drive, Nebraska looked good. It looked fantastic against the nation's #1 defense. That's really all you could have asked for, is them moving the ball methodically. They were mixing run and pass. And then for whatever reason, even with Casey in the game, straight pass. They barely ran the ball.
Which is disappointing. I mentioned this on the captain. Anthony Grant actually had more yards per touch than Chase Brown by over a yard. He averaged 5.86 yards per touch. So that's 12 rushes, three catches out of the backfield. Chase Brown had 32 rushes, 3 catches out of the backfield for a total of 4.62 yards per touch. So, maybe it is kind of at some point lean on Anthony Grant, especially if he's kind of having one of those games over the last couple of games. Admittedly, he was not, and it was not, the blocking wasn't set up. That's the other thing is I thought, and we took some crap on the post-game show for saying this myself. and Nick, was that the offensive line, grading it out just individually, not a great game, but if you grade it out compared to what they had been and compared to, playing the number one defense, I don't think it was their worst game. It seemed like they were doing a little better. Again, not great.
Yeah.
And it was just at some point, Casey's going to get shellacked in a way that is going to make him go out of the game. And man, the drop off from that, I mean, you can blame the play calling, you can blame whatever it is, but 29 yards in the second half, I think 34 after Casey Thompson went out. That falls on everybody. I don't care if that's Mark Whipple, Mickey Joseph, the offensive line. Another thing that just blows my mind, Trey Palmer had damn near 300 yards last time out. You let him be allowed to one, and I know there were some targets out there, but 1 yard, one touch.
They attempted a screen pass for him. It was just thrown behind him, and he couldn't get his hands on it. And then, they're still targeting him throughout the game, but for one reason or another, they couldn't get to it, whether it be great coverage or just the fact that the quarterback doesn't have enough time to put the ball exactly where they want to for Trey Palmer. But like you said, the drop off from Casey to your second and third string quarterbacks was just enormous. And the offensive line, look, I'll take all the flack that you guys want to throw at me. I think the offensive line played a pretty good game, considering that Illinois' best part of their defense is right up front. Casey Thompson didn't get sacked. Now, he was rolling out of the pocket. He was getting moving, but that's exactly what you were expecting Casey Thompson to do with the lack of protection. But the offensive line did a good job when he was in the pocket of allowing him to step up and giving him time to throw the ball. He ended up getting hit that one time. He got hit.
Oh, yeah. Knocked
him out of the game. And it wasn't even he was letting go of the ball. Got tipped up, got intercepted. But the one time he got hit, unfortunately, was the one that took him out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, too, for Casey, he's somewhat interception prone this season. Nebraska altogether very turnover prone.
8-9 on the season.
I think he's double digits now. I have to double check.
He had 2 in that game. Yeah, you're right. No, that's 10 because he might be at 9 because he was at 7. He was 1 off of his total from Texas last year, which was 8.
We'll look at it during the break. I'm pretty sure he's hit double digits.
Okay, I'll look.
We'll double check that. We'll be back here on a Halloween edition of the Ticket Water Cooler to wrap things up and make room for the happy hour coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quill Years, and Brandt Excavating.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and very mild conditions here for our Halloween. We'll top out at 72. South winds at around 10. Overnight mainly clear. Low dropping down to around 43. Will be even warmer tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 77, with south winds gusting over 20. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bagels & Joe has a brand new location in Seward, and it's open for business. Get ready for the fall with pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin cream cheese, and a pumpkin pie smoothie. Don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches, and grab a business box of bagels for the work crew. Bagels & Joe, with 4 Lincoln locations and now in Seward.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know what? I like this song too, and it's just not scary enough. I like to get a little bit of scary vibes going here on Halloween. So let's play this one. This one you probably won't guess. I don't know if you listen to this one or watch this one when you're younger. We'll see here.
This seems familiar.
It's a very good Halloween theme song here. I love it.
This seems familiar, and I can't think of it, but you're going to tell me, and I'm going to be mad.
Maybe. Did you ever watch Ernest? Ernest Scared Stupid.
No. I did watch like Ernest movies, but
yeah, not Scared Stupid.
Not this one, no.
Oh, that's a particularly good one if you like mid-90s
comedy.
Yeah, comedy. I mean, you can't take it too seriously. But there's a bunch of trolls that are going after the kids, and it's kind of fun.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, and he calls him Booger Lips. Booger Lips is the main troll, so you can kind of have fun with it. Ernest, that was a fun time. I used to watch this around Halloween time when I was a kid. So, happy Halloween to everybody out there. Be safe, obviously, tonight. Have fun trick or treating, dressing up, and going out.
You taking your kid trick or treating?
I think, yeah, we did a little bit of trunk or treat yesterday.
Oh,
he doesn't get it. I mean, he's 1.5, a little bit older than that. He's a little bit shy, so he doesn't quite get it. We're not giving him the candy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we hopefully he'll kind of remember this next year.
My daughter is extremely excited to go trick or treating.
Oh yeah.
She has two costumes because she wanted to wear one to daycare, and we knew it would not be clean if she got back, like if she wore it and then came back with it. So she has two 2 outfits. So she's Mirabelle from Encanto at daycare right now, and then she's going to be Buzz Lightyear tonight.
Oh, nice.
And then KJ's going to be Woody, and shout out to my wife Rachel, who took some cardboard, cut it out, painted it, and we have a little wagon that we're going to pull them around in. And she made them, like, on both sides, look like the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story.
Oh, that's awesome. Pizza Planet's very cool.
And then we're going to be Pizza Planet delivery people. We just have Pizza Planet shirts, and we're just going to, walk around.
You got a nice family.
Yeah, I love Halloween, and my wife loves making things and just being creative, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Now, did they like the original Toy Story, or did they watch the recent Buzz Lightyear? I didn't even see that one.
I've seen that one. She likes it. She watches all of the Toy Stories. KJ has no choice. He just watches whatever's
right.
on.
Oh, yeah.
But she likes all the Toy Stories. She really enjoys number 4, though.
Oh, Toy Story 4. That's that one with the green or the purple bear? Or is that
No,
3?
that's number 3.
Okay, what happens
That's number
4?
3. Number 4 is the final one with they go on like a road trip, and Forky. That's the one with Forky.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. And then Bunny and Ducky, who are Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I kind of like that sport character. I forgot about him.
I'm trash.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, we are wrapping things up here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We again want to say happy holidays to everybody out there, and hope you have fun. One more thing I wanted to bring up: last Halloween was great because Nebraska destroyed Colorado in basketball. It was kind of the high point of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Little did we know it. Now, not so great. Obviously, Nebraska goes out and loses to Colorado. They got pretty much jumped from the start of the game.
But is it better?
Or maybe it's better, yeah. Maybe turn it around.
You get a big win to start to end the exhibition season. You have a bad season. You lose to end the exhibition season. Maybe. We'll see.
But they did shoot 6 of 25 from beyond the arc. Is this yet another Husker basketball team that doesn't shoot well?
Well, I don't think that they're going for shooting, so I don't think that they're going to shoot very well from behind the arc. They're mostly defense and trying to get out on the fast break. Yeah, they're athletic. So we'll see what happens. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. They were without Derek Walker in that one, but my guy, Oleg Kolyanets, had a big game. So I'm happy.
Yeah?
Free Oleg. Hashtag free Oleg. Everybody that's listening. Hashtag free Oleg.
And the Derek Walker story is interesting, too, because Hoiberg said that he was out due to healthcare reasons and that he'll let Walker elaborate on that when he wants to. So it's just a kind of a big what is happening.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? Because usually if it was like an injury, you just say
you would just say it.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be out this
or he was sick.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, I'll let him tell you whenever.
Yeah. So whether he wanted to or meant to or not, he's got Nebraska basketball fans quite worried. Myself,
Woo!
I don't know what's going on there.
Yay, drama!
So, yeah, so that continues. So that's kind of scary. Also, I thought Sam McEwen had a really excellent article with a lot of really good stats. I kind of mentioned a few of them. To close out the captain, I mentioned this one here. 5 times in the Scott Frost era, Nebraska had less than 30 carries a game. 5 times, 3 of those times are the past 3 games. So without Scott Frost. So it's basically through the whole Scott Frost era. If you want to cut it off the Scott Frost era to the Mickey era, twice Scott Frost had less than 30 carries a game. The past 3 games, they're going that way. So I understand run the ball guy. I understand Anthony Grant getting more carries. I want to see that too. But you hired Mark Whipple. And Mark Whipple, this was part of the idea, and I said this offseason, run the ball guy is going to get mad this season. I'm run the ball guy. I'm mad, but I kind of prepared myself for it, so I'm less mad. This is kind of what's going to happen. And if Casey Thompson doesn't return, this whole Logan Smothers last year versus Iowa thing, I'd love to see it. I don't know if
have to run the ball.
I don't know if that's a good marriage for Whipple's idea and Whipple's offense.
Probably not.
It's going to be very interesting if Casey doesn't go. Does Mickey? I mean, Mickey wasn't here for the Logan Smothers game either.
No.
What is that game plan? Do you try to muck it up? Do you try to make it just as ugly as Minnesota wants to? Hold on to the ball as much and try to win that way.
Do you put the onus on your defense? Like, hey, we're going to need you extra special in these last few games because we don't have a Casey Thompson. But I'm probably the furthest from run the ball guy as everybody else at this station.
Yeah.
But even I think that you should be running the ball more than you are, especially when you have a running back as good as Anthony Grant. Look, if you don't have a running back as good as Anthony Grant, whatever, I don't care. But you have somebody who can take that pill and move with it. So you got to get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. That's all I'm saying. Like, he has 780 some yards right now. He had 600 through the first 6 games.
Was a lock for 1,000. Now it's good.
And now it's like, is he gonna get it?
He will probably get it, but will he get it? I don't know. I mean, this season has been very much a ride. That game, very interesting because Illinois did exactly what they want to do, win that one 26-9. We'll kind of move on to Minnesota week here, probably throughout the rest of the week, but it's going to be all hinged on if Casey Thompson can start or not, how you kind of go into that game. That'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler. Have a happy Halloween happy hour coming up next.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 9th and P.